Welcome back, everybody, to part two of our episode of things you wanted to know about certain breeds but didn't know who to talk to.
We don't own every type of dogs. We actually just breed Yorkies and Poms and Pugs, and we rescue Yorkies and Poms and kind of Pugs. So we kind of specialize in the small ones. We try to read up on them, but make sure any dog you get, do a little research on him. Don't just get him because he's cute. Don't just get him because you've heard a lot about him, because every dog is not the same.
Yes, well, in part one, we talked about Yorkshire Terriers, Pomeranians, and Pugs. Now we're starting with one of the newest breeds.
Newest member of our family.
Yes, the Siberian Huskies.
You will hear no prejudice in this. It is my daughter's favorite. The other dogs are growling if you hear them in the background. They already know the deal. He is a number one in the life.
Yes, well, Huskies are my favorite kind of breed. I always wanted one, and about a few weeks ago, about a day after my birthday, my mom gave me this surprise.
And we met after months and years of searching for what I thought would be the perfect Siberian Husky that would fit perfectly and be the odd one out and not look like every gray and white, red and white Siberian Husky you've seen on Snow Dogs and every other show. I managed to find a pure white, we're talking snowball white, with UNC Carolina blue eyeballs, male husky.
No offense to all y'all who are UNC fans. I'm from FSU. I'm Bronco.
It doesn't have dark blue that eyes, but it still has very blue eyes. And if you're looking down the hallway, oh, it's a sparkly little sight.
Though it is very cute.
We managed to get him, just to give you a head start of what you're looking at. We got him at 13 weeks. Guess what? He weighed 13 pounds. 2 days later, we take him to the vet for a second baby checkup. And yes, please make sure all your puppies get their shots on schedule. Like I said, 2 days later, he's 14 pounds. Stay with us, fans, because next Tuesday he goes back for his next checkup, which is now 3 weeks later. I don't even want to guess.
Yes, 'cause every day or every time I look at him, I could almost swear that he gets taller.
But Siberians are good for exactly what you know them as sled dogs. They are high energy dogs. And with that, you have to feed them a high energy food. Look on the ingredients of your dog food bag, and if the very first ingredient is not meat, i.e., chicken, beef, lamb, not byproducts, not whatever didn't go over the fence last of an animal, it's not for him. It's not going to have enough vitamins in it for him to be able to digest it and be good. We had to look around, finally found a couple brands. Not going to tell you what they are because I'm not going to be sponsoring anybody. But he has to have a meat, major meat type diet because he is a sled dog. It actually is I guess, foreign ancestor of the wolf.
Yes. And not all the times you will see a husky with blue eyes. They'll sometimes have green, sometimes have
Might have a
gray.
blue and a green. Might have a gray and a green.
Kind of like my Pomeranian husky. Well, actually she's just a Pomeranian, but she has like one blue and one green eye. So I just call her a Pomeranian husky.
What you need to do, don't give the dog back just because you got him and he had blue eyes when you got him, and like a baby, his eyes turned a different color. Trust me, people, if you are so vain to give your dog back because he's a husky breed, born and bred, purebred, but he don't have the stinking blue eyes or the two color eyes like everybody else's husky, you don't even need to own a dog. Don't get me started.
Trust me, people, really do not get her started. That'll be an episode all of its own.
You buy a dog for a friend. You get a dog for a companion. You don't get the dang dog for the way he looks. If you do, Paris Hilton is looking for a friend.
Yes, okay. There are a few things you would have to have for a husky, and this is only by experience. Uh,
Big yard.
yes, a big yard, a nice pool. They love cool weather, and one of my little buddy, his name is Riza. One of his favorite treats is an ice cube.
Because they are a winter dog, a snow dog, they like anything that is cold. So, of course, living in North Carolina, he's probably not going to see a whole lot of that. So we have to make sure that he has a cooler place to stay during the summertime, or let him stay in the house. He does have a pool he can play with. We'll see how that goes in a couple months. And if we ever get snow, he'll be absolutely in heaven, where the pug will be inside staring through the door, along with the stupid fuzzy little pom we have and the teeny weeny Yorkie. So, yes, the only dog that will be outside will be the Siberian Husky. But if you're going to have a dog and you live in a hot climate, please make sure you have a dog house that, yes, has an air conditioner in it, or you have a cool place. Because if you don't want to stay outside in 100-degree heat, your dog doesn't want to stay outside in 100-degree heat.
Now, another thing, big dogs, they don't bark as much as little ones.
They bark when something is really, really important. The little guys bark whenever. If you turn the light on across the street, they bark. If you walk from here to the bathroom, they bark.
And I have a feeling, since one of them is staring out the window growling, we may have a bark fest in a few minutes.
But that does not mean that a Siberian Husky is a silent dog. No, 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 no. He is a wolf type breed. They communicate with the pack in many different ways.
We'll be right back. Alright, now that the barking is finished, we can continue. Next up on the breeds are designer dogs.
First and foremost, do not get a dog so he fits in your pocket. Do not get the dog so he looks good on the red carpet. Like I said, get a dog because you want one. Get a dog because he's your friend. If you want a dog that you can compete in things, hey, that's fine. Don't get what is known as a, I take it back. Don't purposely breed designer dogs. And that is two dogs bred together because they look kind of cool. Puggles. Pugs. Poodles. Puggle. You have a Porky. Yes, we own one. He was a rescue. He is a Pom and a Yorkie. If you actually looked at him, you would think that he's just a Yorkie. He's a stocky bred. Thing is, his hair does not continue to grow. That's the Pom portion of him. He has a little bit feather nubby on the end because his hair is cut differently. But he's a Porky, not a pig, a Porky. There are many, many, many breeds out there that are combinations of two fabulously gorgeous looking dogs. Trust me, they don't always turn out to be gorgeous looking dogs. And there are several chemical projects you should stay away from. Okay,
Wait,
picture this in
wait
your
a minute.
mind, people.
Wait a minute. Let me do this one. Oh yeah. Pugshire Terriers. Ooh.
Yes, picture it in your mind, people. That is what would happen if our Yorkie Terrier and our pug became friendly. Picture it in your mind. Short haired, bug eyed terrier.
Now, imagine a mix of a Shar-Pei and a pug. Let's just
Was that the Shipuggle? Which one was that one?
a Pugshay.
Pugshay, yeah.
I think that's what it was. It has more wrinkles than I don't even want to continue.
Laundry. But what you, like I said, if accidents happen, dogs get together. It's nature, whatever. Don't purposely, as you read in most people, most honest to God, good known, well known breeders tell you, you don't breed two distinct breeds together and for a designer dog. If it happens, fine. You don't purposely find a Porky, a Yorkshire Terrier, and a Pug together. You don't purposely find a Saint Bernard and something, God forbid, other than a Saint Bernard together.
Um, People, keep in mind if you are wanting to breed two breeds together, keep in mind of that that particular designer dog may have the best as well as the worst parts of both breeds. So be sure to keep that in mind.
And you may also realize if you paid attention in science class on genetics, your designer dog may have the weaker genes of both things. So you may not have a healthy dog. That's just the same way when you breed two purebreds together. There's always a weak link somewhere in the genetics, and eventually it's going to come out.
All right. Well, that is all the breeds we were going to talk about. Now we're going to be discussing dangers to some of those breeds. Okay, people, if you have small breeds like Chihuahuas and small little Yorkies that looks like the size and color of a field mouse and a squirrel or any kind of rodent, and keep in mind, if you see a hawk,
As we do a lot in North Carolina and in our area.
I would recommend you either A, keep a very close eye on the dog or the hawk, or bring your dog in the house, because next thing you know, that hawk is going to swoop down and think of your dog as lunch. I kid you not.
If you have to leave the dog outside, put a put a safety color on him. Put a bright red sweater on your cute little doggy, or little rain jacket that everybody buys clothes for the dog. Put it in a bright color. That way he doesn't think the hawk will not see a rabbit in a purple coat or a field mouse in a pink jacket. He'll know that it's wrong and he'll leave it alone.
All right. Now, there are certain things you should never, ever,
Ever.
ever, I kid you not, ever feed your dog. I happen to have it on my list. Things you should not feed
This
them.
is not all inclusive. These are just ones we know of because we eat them and we have to make sure the guys don't get to share
All right. Do not feed them chocolate,
of any kind.
grapes,
Any kind. Seedless, unseedless, don't matter. They can't have them.
tomatoes,
Won't go there. They're veggies, but they can't have them.
small objects.
It's like a baby. If it fits in the top of your soda bottle.
Sorry about that.
Our dogs saw the reflection of themselves in the storm door windows. That's another thing you have to watch. That they like to look at themselves and they bark at it.
Okay, last thing on dangers to the breeds. You need to know where you live, because depending on where you live, certain critters, like for example, around where we live, there's sometimes possums, snakes, raccoons.
Wildlife all the time. It doesn't matter what it is. If you don't like it, your dog won't like it. And you'd be surprised how many things can hurt an animal that you're not even thinking about.
Yes, that is quite true. And sometimes certain pets that you have, like an iguana, I'm not going to go far on that one. Just trust me on that one.
Like just all we're asking, and to make this short and sweet, pay attention to your dog. He just don't leave him out in the yard for days on ends. You have to make sure they have water. You have to make sure they have food. And please don't tell me you ever tie your dog to a tree, because matter of fact, it's not illegal to do that for more than 2 hours. Won't go there. That's your problem. But trust me, if I see your dog tied up, I'm going to report you. Just because dogs are family members. Again, you want to sit outside in one spot and can't get to water, that's your problem. You're smart enough to know better. Dogs have to go on what you give them. Treat your dog like a family member. That's what he is.
All right. Well, that is all for now. Until next time. One more thing. We are open to suggestions for new episodes, but there are rules.
Keep it clean, people.
No more than PG-13. All right. Just if you want to place a suggestion, put it in your comments, and I'll see if it's approved.
Like I said, just have fun with your dogs, people. Enjoy them. They're fun to have. Yes, they can be irritating, but have fun.